What's up, everyone? Welcome to Truman's Awakening TV. Super excited to have a beautiful guest here, Dustin Lewis, who is someone I've come into contact with through GPMS.world. And what I wanted to do firstly is just to give absolute thanks and props to Dustin for what he's already doing. He's doing much divine work, and part of that is actually Reels, and he's already got 5,000 followers on here, which is great. But in doing his reels, he's actually produced a reel with a GPMS flyer embedded in it, which has got, I think, 1 million views. Is that right?
Yeah, 1 million views on one of the reels, and it's special thanks to Kimberly Atkins. I was sharing her content, and she's amazing. She's a really good hero, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I've
And I just like to
seen
share. I share the 100, the truth. I want people to know what's going on, and I want to make the world a better place, just like you do.
100%, 100%. Well, yeah, I've followed Kimberly myself actually a little bit in the past, and yeah, she's always got amazing content, and what she's bringing to the table is awesome. So yeah, yeah. So that's amazing. I mean, in terms of that particular one, do you think it was just because she was in it that you got you got that many views, or do you
Just
think there was
what she
something
was
else?
saying resonated with me. Just what she was saying resonated with me, and I'm like, wow, I need to share this.
And then you shared it. And have you shared any of her other videos or content from her before?
Yeah,
And
there's other ones I shared of her talking.
but they didn't get that much traction. Do you know what caused it to hit 1 million views?
I have no idea. It just happened.
Just happened. Just
It's yeah. Well,
wow.
I also that reel. I also had how to make a remedy to boost your immune system too.
I
So
mean, yeah. So just to reiterate that, we have a reel which Dustin produced with a GPMS.world flyer in it, promoting GPMS.world. You know, the Global People's Monetary System, the referendum, the worldwide referendum, which is to create absolute abundance for all people, ending poverty, tax debts, instantly upon its implementation. But it's a referendum, so we have to get the majority of people worldwide to agree to it before it gets fully implemented. Although as we get obviously large majorities in different countries, then already there'll be a lot of sharing occurring to actually eliminate, like, the struggle for people, and so it's of course uplifting consciousness as we share it with people. We go through this educational process because a lot of people can't imagine a world like we're talking about with GPMS, but the ones that can have it in their hearts, that know what's right, are already aligning themselves with it and obviously signing up. But amazing. So it was in the background. So you had Kimberly was presenting her information. What was her name? What's her
yeah,
full name again? Just to repeat that.
huh?
What's Kimberly's
What was
full
that?
name?
Oh, it was Kimberly Atkins.
Kimberly Atkins. So yeah, a lot of you watching this may know of Kimberly Atkins, but she's got a good following. She always has good numbers, I think, on her reels. So here it is, 1 million views in a second. We'll just have a quick look at the reel. And just towards the end of her reel, or the reel that Dustin did with her in it, the flyer pops up, all for probably maybe a few seconds. And so,
It's about usually about 4 or 5 seconds, roughly, enough to read it. Yeah.
yeah,
One of the home remedies that offered relief to our grandparents in the past. One day we might need these lost remedies again.
A drug company can make all these promises
and I'll just delete that audio because it'll get me banned. I mean, that's
And
that's
if they needed to, you always can pause, so.
absolutely a lot of people. When you get 1 million views, I mean, there's the question of how many people may have seen or watched that video reel more than once, of course. But even the fact that it's there, I mean, it's in the subconscious as well, and it's also just in consciousness, in the field of consciousness. So it's a
Yeah,
very
it's
powerful thing.
yeah, it's getting the truth out to everyone. It's what matters.
Hundred
The
percent.
100, the news on TV just gives you half truths and tell you what you want to know, and then to hide what they're really doing. That's
Mm.
all a part of the elites and the 1%.
Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, they're going to continue doing what they're going to continue to do until they're in
Correct.
a position where they're in checkmate. I mean, because what we've got is them in check at the moment. They are in check, figuratively speaking, talking about chess, right? They know
Yeah.
that they're on their way out. they're trying to move away from checkmate, but it's only a matter of time. And the checkmate really comes with the majority of people aligning or coming together visibly and in unity, basically opting out of the system, because that's what they're doing. When you're opting in for GPMS.world, you're opting out of your consent to the current systems, and that's how they're governing people with all of the secrecy and everything else, is that they're basically assuming our consent because people aren't unifying to say no. But ultimately, you're automatically doing that when you unify with GPMS.world. So that's why it's so critical, and it's such a beautiful tool that we have. Of course, there's many groups out there that are aligned with the virtues of GPMS. They don't understand what GPMS is yet, and they can have preconceived ideas which are incorrect, or just have some fears because they don't know enough about it, and they lack trust because of this crazy world that we're in. But yeah, as more people come into GPMS, the numbers grow, then the confidence grows, the more content that we have, people sharing about GPMS, people talking about GPMS, the confidence grows. People see that this is a movement of people. This isn't government. This isn't a worldwide government. This isn't a cryptocurrency. People start to understand it, and that's where it is going to suddenly just snowball in terms of numbers. But yeah, absolutely amazing what you've done there. That's beautiful. So how did you come across GPMS originally, brother? Was it just through a post?
The woman that started, actually, I was talking to the woman that started it all. She's,
Emily. Well,
yeah.
One of the people, Emily. Yeah.
Yeah, Emily. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, she's a nice person. I really enjoyed talking to her. I haven't talked to her in a long time, but
no, Emily's lovely. She's a real character. Yeah, she's great, and she's been doing amazing work. And yeah, so there was a number of people, obviously, that kind of really started it off, and obviously people familiar with Rick Jewers and Lee Mudway and Dean maybe, and then there's people in Asia as well, like Jidarat.
I just think we're all tired of being the straw man, and who's the economy really help anyways? The 1%? I mean,
yeah, it's crazy. There's also a lot of stuff to do with the energetics going on. So when people come across GPMS, obviously they see monetary systems, so obviously that can lead them to preconceived ideas as to what they think it might be, and whether it's a cryptocurrency or an alternative currency or whatever, which is not. But there is aspects to what we're doing with GPMS, and what a lot of the people who are aligned with GPMS that have come in that are really kind of proactive with it, as well as those ones that are just doing more energy work behind it to do with consciousness. And one thing that's kind of, when people go down the rabbit holes of looking at obviously all of the conspiracy theories and then really broadening their perspective and understanding of the reality that we live in, at some point, it's going to be quite kind of, I think we'll see a trend, more of a pattern of people actually realizing, well, I can keep on going down these rabbit holes and spending a lot of time doing that, and sharing all of that information. But at the same time, when you know what the evil is and you know that you've got a solution energetically, what we do need more people to do, and this will occur, is just focusing on the solution and just more embodying that solution, because what we're doing energetically then is actually tipping the balance into positive broadly, because basically even the alternative news, whilst it's awakening people, and it's necessary at this point still to do it, because so many people still haven't even begun their journey of awakening really, in terms of looking at anything that's not narrative, mainstream narrative, is that news is also a bit of a weapon which is being used against us energetically, because it's still fear-based. Yeah.
And just like when they're trying to pass something, there always has like 5 different agendas that benefit them, and they make it sound good to make us believe that we want it, but it's really helping them in like 5 different ways.
Yeah.
They're all about deceit and trickery, So.
They're all about that. But even still, even actually, what we've got to be a bit careful of is that as more people awaken, we need to make sure that a very, very good proportion of the people that are awakening are actually not putting really much energy and focus anymore onto the conspiracy stuff, because they already know it. We'll have a continuation of the people who are just learning about it, sharing it with other people that they know that haven't started to look at it properly yet. That's going to continue. But we need to have the balance right in terms of more people just focusing on energizing the positive, or where your attention goes, the energy flows, is the saying, isn't it? Where your attention goes, the energy flows. So when we watch alternative news and we're looking at all the conspiracy theories, even when we're actually kind of, let's say, transmuting that because we're kind of more conscious and we're doing our own kind of meditation and raising our own vibration, we're still putting our attention on that stuff. I don't know if you're aware of the CIA's project, this
How
the
just like
Gateway
TV,
Experience.
programming us and program us to think a certain way, and they get us at an early age to format, they format us and then program us to what we believe, what we believe that reality is.
Yeah,
They
they're
condition
using
us
it.
to believe a certain way and live a certain way because we watch TV and believe it's so.
Yeah. Well, actually, by getting us to watch stuff on TV, it's actually manifesting the reality. So, are you familiar with the Gateway Experience, which is something that is circulating around in quite
Yes,
broadly?
I've heard about how, yeah, and I've heard about they experimented with LSD and stuff, the CIA.
Well,
Yeah,
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 the Gateway Experience is actually is using consciousness. They basically got people to listen to binaural beats, basically, and tones in one ear and then in another ear. So it would actually synchronize the hemispheres of the brain, and then they would basically be essentially getting them to think about positive things and all the rest of it. But when I actually listened to the Gateway experiment tapes, which you can find on YouTube, and it sounds pretty dark, to be honest. They're binaural. Like, you don't hear the binaural music. You don't hear nice, calming music. You just hear these tones, and it's like this. It just sounded a bit kind of evil and dark. But
right.
basically, what they found with that is that they document this, and this is in their reading room. So it's freedom of information. It's available. It confirms that basically we're living in a kind of holographic universe in the sense that we basically
Oh, yeah.
can create our reality through our consciousness, and that's what we are doing. We're actually constantly creating, whether it's from a positive place or a negative place. And that's where people talk about manifestation. But this document confirms actually that anyone can do it, and it is real, and that obviously again you can gain abilities in terms of being able to heal yourself. But I mean, they obviously use it for remote viewing, astral travel and all that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
And so when you kind of understand that, even though we know that CIA is also the massive like kind of misinformation, disinformation organization, obviously with their psychological operations they're doing on the people anyway, but a lot of us doing meditation, we are practicing that, but we are raising our vibration, which is a good thing to do anyway. Knowing that they can do that, they've got that information. Of course, the CIA also operate with Hollywood. They know that basically through
Well,
tones,
don't even
through
get me
music.
started on that horrible place.
Yeah, I know. It's a joke. Well, with
Yeah.
vibrations and stuff, they know that basically when people are tuning their vibration and it's low, and they're watching something that might be like a scary movie or whatever it might be, or just the news, it potentially can help bring that negative into the reality, because they've got all of these eyes watching it, feeling that emotion, and actually creating it within their consciousness as they're seeing it. So my personal opinion is that probably in the future we may actually want to consider very, very seriously what kind of energy and energetics of television that we watch, like just generally, because it's so powerful. That's why they've been using it ever since TV came out.
Right.
They were using it on radio before, right? And they're still able, but the TV's just enhanced it. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to just say was that I'm still looking at a lot of the conspiracy stuff. I don't spend a lot of time, nothing like what I did before. And there's people out there
I
that do.
usually get I usually get help from my friend Ryan Croy. I'm sure you might have talked to him from time to time. And
I haven't actually. I know you mentioned him to me before. So
yeah,
is he linked? Is he connected into GPMS or anything, or is he just big
I,
online?
yeah, I believe he is too. I think he signed up for it too.
Okay, okay. So
But
you,
yeah, he actually opened my eyes a few years ago about what's really going on, and he was kind of my mentor,
yeah.
And me and him been Sam and Dean in it, I say, like all the research and
Yeah. So Yeah, I mean, you came across GPMS via Emily, and that was what, 18 months ago, 2 years ago, or longer? Was it
I
like,
think it
or a
might
year
have been
ago?
like, I think it was a year ago.
About a year ago, yeah. And from your experience, you spoke to Emily. Did you just literally sort of get it immediately and think, hell yeah, I'm going for this. Yeah, I'll agree to it. And did you just go online and then just fill out the form and done sort of thing? Did you take any time over the process, or did you just do it quickly?
No, it resonated well with me, and I just did it. So
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, so I mean, it's so varied in terms of people's experience with that. I mean, I know there's a lot of people in the Facebook group that came across GPMS and maybe it resonated with them, but they still didn't sort of take that step in terms of actually going in
yeah, but
the website and
when you're vibrating higher and you're in a state of 5D consciousness, things get to be a little easier, like your internal knowledge and your intuition.
yeah,
It's very helpful. And numerology is amazing tool for our journey as well. The divine realm can speak to us through the numbers, and you can even Google it up and they send you messages and like, hey, you're on the right path. Just like 1111 indicator, you're on the right path.
yeah,
So
true,
yeah, it's
true.
pretty amazing how, yeah.
Well,
I think Red Hot Chili Pepper said it best. This life is more than ordinary. So
Mm, yeah, I mean, I had a reading recently on my soul journey, and again, it was verified, of course, that I'm on the right path, which I knew already. But
right. Yeah.
because I've just had this knowing, instantly. I mean, obviously, when I came across GPMS, I knew it, so I didn't hesitate. But there's people that have come into the Facebook group and they've been in there for like 6 months, and then they've like, yeah, I've signed up today, but I've been in touch with them. I've answered a few questions because a lot of people have questions. They and often
Oh yeah.
they're not new questions; they're the same questions, whether it's someone new asking them or someone who's been looking in for a while, and then just brings up another question, which is one that's readily asked for. But yeah, it's quite difficult for people to let go of things to a degree because of this we are in this time of having to let go of much of what we've known. Obviously, we know that we've been lied to about virtually everything, but like in terms of even things that we think that we'll want to keep, into the new world, I think we'll find that most of us will find that we don't necessarily want to even keep a lot of the stuff that we think that we still do, but it's a process, it doesn't happen overnight. Like,
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say that. Okay.
it's absolutely beautiful where you're living. So this river behind you,
The, the property, yeah, it runs all the way down here. Oh, there's a canoe or what? Wait, or kayak. There's someone
oh yeah,
kayaking. I
cool.
don't
Oh
know
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
yeah, that's the Manistee River right there,
Oh, okay, cool,
and
cool.
I'm in Michigan. So
Sweet. Well, what I want to do is I want to basically try and just find people who are ready just to get together properly, like more than just even just doing it online, to try and sort of connect, properly, try and get some gatherings going on, and then like just like the protests. I don't know how big the protests got in the States during the pandemic, but in the States, but in the UK, we were getting to a point where we had like 1 or 2 million people, getting together in London in the height of it. Um, of course, the energy is very low because they're all chanting, "Oh yeah, freedom, freedom," and obviously it was all against the narrative, and so of course any kind of visibility of it was kind of really, um, by the media. They basically tried to scale it down and say there was a few thousand people when there was literally millions, or there was over a million. Um, but yeah, of course everybody was holding up these plaques, and it was very much against the brainwashing that people had. So of course it wouldn't have got as much traction. But when we start to come together and then we grow that in a physical way, because it would happen organically once you start it, it will just grow and grow and grow. Then rather than having people having these like negative images on their boards and stuff, but people just coming together and say, yeah, we're creating a new earth, and just it's all about love and higher vibration and
oh, there's some
consciousnness.
more.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
more
yeah.
kayakers.
What was that? Another one.
Oh yeah, there's two more that went by. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it'd be cool to find out if there's some more people in Michigan, Yeah, that might be able to connect and yeah, because I'm operating over in the UK, but even in the UK, like the ones that I've connected with are fairly dispersed. But yeah, there's quite, you've got 800 agreements in the UK, which is nothing. But that would be quite, even if we had 1/10 of that get together, or even 20th of that, just 10 people starting off, gathering, and then just speaking to a few people like about GPMS.world, then that would, if that was a regular thing in an area, in any given area, then it would start to grow. If you just start repeating that every couple of months at least, and because online we're getting censored, as we know, we're getting censored hard, and so we need to kind of operate more offline as well where we can, which people are doing, but we see it over in the Philippines. The numbers are growing rapidly over there, so we need to kind of take a leaf out of their book, and try and start doing something local. So just another one. So you play the guitar. I saw that you were playing guitar, jamming the guitar a few times in some of your reels. That's your passion, is it?
I have a lot of talent, actually. Anything artistic I do. Like I'm a self-published author as well of a comic book.
Oh yeah, I saw your link to a website actually before, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also paint. I paint landscape and abstract art as well.
Cool. So that's the thing. You're
Actually,
creative. You're an artist, and oh, cool. Yeah, that's nice.
it's all reversed on my camera, but it's Billy Badass.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So that's yours. Did you produce that? Is that yours?
Yes, I copyrighted it, and I have a printing company in Detroit that prints them off for me. I'm currently working on volume 2, but it's on Google Playbooks store for $3.99. You can also download a sample up to 12 pages for free.
Oh, sweet. Well, anyone watching this, if you fancy getting Billy Badass and comic, you know where to go. That's awesome, man. So yeah, I mean, it's great to connect with you, brother. We've got 4 minutes left of this one. So, is there anything you wanted to share? Anything else that you wanted to talk about, before this one's up? And or yeah.
Um, well, I like Tom McDonald. He's spitting the truth a lot. I really admire him. I don't know if you've seen his stuff or not, but you should.
Do you know what? There's so many people that are obviously really, again, dropping bombs of truth, truth bombs like constantly, like
He's got this
Blue
one
Trail.
called The System. He's got this one called The System. That's great. And there's a few other great ones too. Yeah, he's doing really good work to get the truth out. It's amazing.
Yeah. Is he kind of comedy? Is it with a bit of comedy
No,
what he does, or is he?
he's a rapper. He's a rapper from Canada.
Oh, is he?
He's
Okay.
in, yeah, he's independent as well, so he doesn't have the music industry, hooked into him.
Oh yeah, well, him. Yeah. Well, the guy's just released like loads of his own stuff and done all his own kind of
Oh yeah,
videos.
yeah, some great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Know him. Yeah. Of course. Don't know everyone by name, but yeah, I've seen loads of his stuff. He's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. So yeah, basically, yeah, in terms of anything that you're sharing, I mean, again, like anything with GPMS is great. I'd say, obviously, when we're putting, as I mentioned to you before, when we're putting content into the Facebook group, it needs to be very heavily weighted on GPMS. Like if there was just I mean, even the one which you got 1 million views in, it's such a short flash of it. When people
Yeah, I'm sorry for that. I thought it was up longer than that, but
Yeah. The thing is, you have to, like you say, it's interesting. It'd be really interesting to find out. There must be some secret ingredient of something that you did with that video. Maybe it was the title of the video. What was the title of it? Do you remember off the top of your head?
I never label them. I don't label them. I've never labeled the reels.
Yeah, because the fact that like she was obviously the main feature of it, but you've done other ones with her as the main feature in it, but they didn't get the same level of traction. It's just really, it's interesting that that one just suddenly just went viral because it did.
I know. I don't know what happened. It just happened.
Well, let's hope some more go viral. But great that you've got 5,000 followers. And
I'm a sole worker. I'm a pathfinder, and I'm a torchbearer of society. I'm supposed to create and inspire the world and make the world a better place. So I aim to do that
Awesome.
in any way I can.
And how did you actually start your journey? I mean, did you kind of come into this like, or did you start waking up like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, longer?
It was only a few years ago, a couple years ago.
Was there something that actually was it kind of a quite a sharp awakening that you had? Was it just something that you saw that just happened to present itself in front of you that kind of woke you up?
Well,
Or
yeah, all the stuff that they're putting in our foods,
yeah,
and McDonald's French fries has deadly chemicals they let set for 24 hours before they you know are be ready to consume. So that's pretty messed up. And the fact that Skittles are banned in most countries except for the US because it can manipulate and change your DNA. That's pretty scary.
mm, mm. Yeah. If you're low vibration, if you're high vibration, no, it's all good. You'll be fine. Just have to do your inner work. Bro, we're just about to
But
time out, man.
oh, okay.
What I'll say is, let's connect again. Thanks again, Dustin. Amazing work. 1 million views. Have an amazing day. Love, light, and gratitude.